Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time on this Tuesday night. Lovely to have you guys here for another episode. Got a lot to talk about. Reinforcements on the way for this Titans offense. We've talked a lot about the different needs that they have and how they could stand to get some pieces and parts back. Well, looks like they are on the horizon of at least three potentially key contributors to this team. And we'll talk about which of those is the most important. We'll also discuss the idea of who is the most reliable Titans wide receiver on the roster right now, because one of the potential returnees, is Kyle Phillips. We'll talk about his role within the wide receiver core and who really is Ryan Tannehill's most trustworthy target through these first four games. Gone viral at the end of the show because it's a Tuesday night, and that's what we do. Always appreciate you guys showing up. Always appreciate your willingness to share this show around on whatever streaming platform you're hanging out on. If you are on Twitter, please retweet the show, bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Facebook Live, like Dylan Madden, you can share now to public. That is in the bottom left. YouTube or Twitch, Charles Coleman's on YouTube. Ben Hall is on YouTube. A lot more YouTube friends. We always welcome more of your YouTube friends, and you can bring more people into the party by liking the video if you would be so kind. Ben Hall says, I just hope they covered the Wi-Fi policy at practice in lieu of potential bets. Yes, to prevent themselves from having another NPF situation. He said he didn't understand the rules thoroughly the first time around. I suppose that is an acceptable excuse given that the league has now amended the rule to allow him and Jamison Williams to be able to return ASAP. But either way, you got to be careful, because that was one of the more careless reasons to miss games, even as, the league has acknowledged, all right, that policy may have been a bit too strict. Let's go ahead and get the show started, and we will talk about these things together. Welcome into A to Z Sports Prime Time from the Zen Sports Studios. I'm your host, Buck Rising. If you're new to the show, I'm proud, as always, to be presented to you by the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry. Wherever justice demands, Amanda J. and her team are there to serve you, to protect your constitutional rights. Today, go to AmandaJGentry.com. Of course, TrueMath Fitness in the Gulch. You know that TrueMath Fitness will get you the best workout in Middle Tennessee. In fact, because it is Cancer Research Month, in particular Breast Cancer Research Month, TrueMath is putting on a very special workout that I'll tell you more about later on in the show, so you can work out for a cure. And Zen Sports, download the Zen Sports app. Postseason baseball, first day of postseason baseball. I've watched baseball all day long. I haven't actually watched a lot of baseball. It's just been on in the background. But the thing that would motivate me to watch more baseball is betting on it with the promo code ATOZTN in the Zen Sports app. Get unlimited 5% cash back for your first 15 days of wagering using the promo code you see in front of you, ATOZTN. All right, so reinforcements are on the way for the Tennessee Titans. Kevin Summers says, is there a Titans fan section at Nissan Stadium where the Titans fans sit and root against the Titans? I'm unfamiliar if that's the case, but perhaps a question better suited for your fellow Titans fans. William Jones says Nissan Stadium needs to work on their Wi-Fi. I'm certain you can submit it to their suggestion box. Mike Vrabel's suggestion box is his trash can, so perhaps they will hear your Wi-Fi complaints there. We're not here to complain about Wi-Fi, though. We're here to talk about help. They're getting help back at a variety of different positions, and I guess the question, your Two Rivers Ford take, is as simple as which returnee has the biggest impact on the offense? Who is most important, their presence on the offense, to get back into the lineup? We're going to talk about these guys together. There's three of them in particular: Nicholas Petit-Frere, Peter Skoronski, and Kyle Phillips. We will discuss at length together on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. It's your Two Rivers Ford take. Titanium Titan asks on YouTube, are we expecting Peter Skoronski back this week? Well, it's my understanding that it's trending that way. He is less likely than the other two. There is a better chance that Phillips and NPF are ready to go this week than is Peter Skoronski. But Peter Skoronski right now is in the category of on track to be available. We'll see how he handles the week of work, and the training staff will make their assessments. The medical staff will make their assessments after Friday's practice. But in the meantime, we are trending in that direction. We'll keep you updated as these things develop. Rashid says, I wonder, did NPF lose his starting spot? Well, Mike Vrabel spoke to that effect, and you'll hear from the head coach momentarily, right after I remind you that your Two Rivers Ford take is presented by Two Rivers Ford. Go to Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet. Quality American-made Ford vehicles. Award-winning customer service is what they offer you. Nobody is going to put you in better position to succeed as the car buying experience goes, than Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet. They've been doing it for 40 years for Middle Tennesseans. I'm a Two Rivers Ford customer. DeAndre Hopkins is a Two Rivers Ford customer. The best in the business is Two Rivers Ford. Go to tworiversford.com, powered by Ford, driven by people. So as you look at the potential returnees, who is the most important to get back on the offense? Heath on Facebook Live says he'd pass on Phillips. He's like glass. Stephen King says the All-Pro. Well, the All-Pro is none of the above just yet. Skoronski has missed too many games to be considered a rookie All-Pro. So I would say that he is not on track to be an All-Pro in his rookie year, having missed 3 already. But I think as you look at the Titans' offensive situation, the offensive line depth is the important thing to get back here. Now, Skoronski, as I said, is trending in the right direction. Peter Skoronski spoke to the media last week in the locker room about his readiness and his availability moving forward.
Hard to be on the outside looking in.
Yeah, it sucks watching your team from home, sit on the couch. Whether it's a loss or a win, and I've experienced both. So obviously, that sucks, and want to be back on the field as soon as possible.
You'd be lost, and how much do you have to work to get it back?
Yeah, I've lost a little bit. Lost my appetite a little bit last week, so definitely that's part of the process of trying to gain it back. That'll come, obviously. So my appetite, keeps coming back, and keep working through the weight room and my diet. So, like I said, just kind of taking it day by day and seeing what I can handle and trying to improve every day.
Coach Vrabel has said that, you're improving as far as you're doing the weight room and conditioning. What is it that you're able to do?
Yeah, it's kind of changed every single day. But obviously, it starts with the core work, stuff like that, and sort of progressing back to where I was. So in terms of what it is, it kind of changes and kind of changes what I can handle, but it's definitely trending in the right direction.
Did they catch it, or did you wind up in an emergency situation?
I did. I was at the hospital, and it ruptured, but they caught it, basically. So very appreciative of everyone there who helped me out at Section St. Thomas. So they did a great job, and here I am doing fine. So.
So that was last week. He did not play against the Cincinnati Bengals, obviously. We'll see what his availability is heading into Indianapolis. The Primetime Show is presented by the great people at the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry. AmandaJGentry.com is where you go to get the protections that you need of your constitutional rights. They mean what they say when they say wherever justice demands. Practicing in Tennessee family and criminal courts in 35 counties in the state of Tennessee, Amanda J. Gentry and her team are there to serve you. Go to AmandaJGentry.com to find out more about how they can assist you today. So it would stand to reason that Skoronski is the most important player to have back in the lineup. Now, here's the thing. He's going to immediately get his job back. Dylan Radins is going to be bumped from the lineup into a reserve role. Good depth, one would think. Radins has not been a great player, but he has been a serviceable player when called upon in a big spot. To Dylan Radins' credit, well done by him. There are no plans right now as of October 3rd to move Andre Dillard out of the lineup. He stands to be your starting left tackle moving forward. They think it is a survivable situation. If it is proven to not be the case, then they will have to reevaluate. But for now, it is Dillard's job. So That leaves then NPF as the odd man out. And it's a pretty interesting situation to consider because, in terms of levels of importance, I would say Skoronski most important, Phillips second, NPF third, but NPF is good depth for them to have. Now, he wasn't good in the preseason, which was a concern because he's not facing high levels of competition at this point. But I think that just in terms of bodies, they could use his help. NPF, they waived Xavier Newman Johnson today to make a roster spot for him. They also waived Mason Kinsey, who I'm sure will be back on the practice squad because Kyle Phillips is en route to return as well. Now, speaking of NPF, it sounds like it's going to be Chris Hubbard's job at right tackle until such time as NPF earns it back. This was the head coach on that subject this Monday.
Yeah, I think that's Nick's been away for a little bit. He was with us in training camp, and we'll see where things go. Like the way that Chris is playing over there. We'll just see how he looks this week.
So they're pretty happy. They're pretty satisfied with the work that they're getting out of Chris Hubbard. NPF does not look like he will crack the lineup at this point. Royale Wright says kick Skoronski to tackle, leave Dillon at guard. They're not going to do it. I understand why you guys are submitting suggestions. I know you guys see Dillard struggle out there the same way that I do, the same way that the coaching staff does. But they are banking on the situation being survivable, as I said, and that Skoronski is more important to them on the inside than he is at tackle, even though traditionally tackle is the more valuable role. And I'm not saying that tackle's not more valuable here, but they don't have a good solution to keep the interior pressure off Ryan Tannehill. Skoronski is more valuable to them on the inside than he is at tackle because you can manage the tackle situation. Skoronski is better where the pressure gets there faster out on the inside. Adam Weber says the Titans should replace Dillard with Skoronski and keep Radens at left guard, as Roy suggested. Again, your suggestions are welcome. They are just not going to come to fruition. They're not going to bench him. It's going to take a benching, and right now, Dillard is not getting benched. Jared Clark asked, can Dillard play guard? No, he cannot. He can't play anything but left tackle. He's not a right tackle. He's not a left guard. He is a left tackle. Even if his skill set would suggest, or even if his performances at left tackle would suggest otherwise, the guy is a left tackle or nothing. Probably closer to nothing than he is a left tackle, but he did play better, to his credit. He played better against the Bengals than he did against the Browns. NPF can continue to compete, but I just don't think they're going to disrupt the thing for the sake of disruption. NPF, let me say this, NPF is not worth a disruption to the offensive line group. Like, he's not so good that he should just get his job back on either the right side or to take Dillard's. Dillard hasn't been, I know it seems ridiculous to say that Dillard hasn't been bad enough to lose it yet, but the coaching staff believes he's not been bad enough to lose it yet. So that is the decision that they will make, and you can be frustrated by it, but them's the breaks. PFF had Dillard as the highest rated offensive lineman this past game. Again, PFF is a valuable tool to an extent, but I don't think that's an accurate assessment. Could Dillard be better at right tackle, says Heath? No. Jeff Stoutland, the Philadelphia. We've talked about this before, so forgive me if I'm in reruns for some of you. The Philadelphia Eagles offensive line coach, Jeff Stoutland, is one of the best in the league. Tried him at right tackle, couldn't get it to work. Andre Dillard's not a right tackle. It's like what Dylan Radens is saying. He's saying he's not a right tackle at all. He's not a right side player, and he keeps trying to play left tackle, and they just won't seem to let him. Eric says, Buck, I thought you said that Dillard was worse than Daly. He was on track to be worse than Dennis Daly. He is currently on track to be worse than Dennis Daly. He is not yet worse than Dennis Daly. So, I'm not like it sounds like I'm defending Dillard. I'm not defending Dillard. I'm telling you what your coaching staff is going to do. And what your coaching staff is going to do is ride it out with Dillard for the time being. So, like I said, that is the scenario for the time being. Boss Man says, man, Buck, how can you honestly say it's more important than protecting his blind side where the most turnovers come from? Because of the turnovers that are created by the interior defensive linemen who are also now paid north of $20 million a year. It's not just the edge guys. I'm not saying that tackle is more important than guard, but guards are making $20 million a year in the league too, because we now understand, as a football consuming society, the best way to bother quarterbacks is through the interior, is to get pressure up the middle, to get in their face, to make them uncomfortable, to flush them to the sides. Now, I'm not saying that your tackles are anything great and that you can't protect yourself, or that Skoronski wouldn't play left tackle better than Dillard is right now, but they are doing a cost benefit analysis that Dillard is good enough to hold up there because that's the only place that you can play him. He's better than your other options for the time being. NPF, I think, is, I don't think that just because NPF hasn't played there yet doesn't mean that he's going to be better. So I don't think you should make a change just for the sake of making a change. And as I said, if the coaching staff wasn't going to bench him after Cleveland, then they're not going to bench him now. So I don't know what else to tell you beyond the explanation that of what you're going to see. And, should the circumstance change, we can continue to talk about it further into the season. All right. I think that this is there's a lot to get into with the offensive line group, and we'll see how things play out. Again, competition is always open. There's not going to be that many opportunities for one to surpass another when there's not training camp padded practices, and you're not guaranteed to get playing time in games. So that is worth keeping an eye on moving forward. Devin Mills says, any word on the left tackle we drafted in the 5th? Yeah, he's not a factor. And he's not a 5th-round pick. He's a 6th-round pick in Jalen Duncan. He is not Justin Murray is higher on the depth chart than Jalen Duncan is right now. So something to keep in mind. He's on the active roster. Potentially he might be something. Right now, he's not involved. All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's talk about who's the most reliable wide receiver on the Titans roster right now. It's an interesting question. Reliable, not the best, but the most reliable. And maybe to you, that means the same thing. We'll talk about these things together right after I remind you that the Primetime Show is presented by the great people at TrueMath Fitness in the Gulch. Go to TrueMathFitness.com. Get your first workout free as a Middle Tennessee resident. That's such a great opportunity for you to try the best workout in Middle Tennessee. I love their coaching staff. I think they are the best around. I think it's the best workout in Middle Tennessee. I would also tell you that in the month of October, TrueMath Fitness is doing a lot of great things to raise money for breast cancer research, including a special workout that you can sign up for where the proceeds go to breast cancer research. On this Friday, October the 6th at 9 a.m., our friend Worth Campbell, who is the owner and the head trainer at TrueMath Fitness, Worth is going to be leading a special Real Men Wear Pink American Cancer Society workout class. Again, Friday, October the 6th. That's this coming Friday at 9 a.m. Donation-based class, all proceeds going towards that breast cancer research. You can sign up for that today at TrueMathFitness.com. And if you like that workout, your first workout is free. This one, of course, is for charity. So one would not be free, but your first workout outside of the cancer research workout is free at TrueMathFitness.com. All right, let's keep it moving. Who's the most reliable wide receiver on the Titans roster right now? Kenneth Davidson says still DeAndre Hopkins. D-Hop says John Torkington. At least he catches the ball when it's thrown to him. Devin Mills, as predicted, NWI is our wide receiver 1. Eddie agrees. Byron does as well, but he says sadly. And I think that's just I think that does such a disservice to Nick Westbrook-Akina. The dude busts his ass to be a good player. Really, really works hard. Now, you may find him unsatisfactory. You may find him not sexy enough. You may find him less than for whatever reason that you should or that you will. And you're entitled to feel that way. And, I think it's reasonable to expect that an NFL team should go into a season with a higher caliber starting wide receiver than Nick Westbrook-Akina. I think that's a completely fair observation. But as bodies start to end up on the injury report or on the training table, and Nick Westbrook-Akina continues to be available and continues to make plays as he did for you as he has done for you multiple times this season, then sadly, I think frankly, I think it's disrespectful. And you may think that NWI is not worth more respect than you're giving him. That's all well and good. And I know, I make tongue-in-cheek jokes all the time about Indiana football not being worth a damn, and the fact that the most reliable wide receiver on the Titans roster would be from Indiana football is a comedy of errors unto itself. I've made jokes about NWI's situation as well. And you know what? All the dude does is keep showing up, to his credit. So while I do think that Hopkins has the potential to be the most reliable player on the Titans roster should he stay available, right now, the most available, the most dependable, the most trustworthy wide receiver on the roster continues to be Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. And I don't think that he should be faulted for that by any sense of any sense of the imagination. I think they really, really value the work that he does, even if they don't value him monetarily. The idea that this dude makes the amount of plays that he does for you, making less than $2 million a year as a, more often than not, a starting wide receiver is a credit to him being willing to grind it out. So, I hope he gets a lucrative contract. Sorry, I have to plug in my laptop real quick because I forgot to charge it before the show started. I hope he gets a lucrative contract to some extent, that of a wide receiver 3 or a wide receiver 2 somewhere, potentially, whether that's, obviously not here in Tennessee, but should he get paid elsewhere beyond this season, to his credit, I think that he has earned that at this point. But that he's your most reliable wide receiver, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think that you can count on him. When does he make plays? Every other 8 games? Well, I mean, he's made plays all over the place in the Saints game. Quarterback had a meltdown. Made plays all over the place in the latest win over the Cincinnati Bengals. He has consistently been available for you. He has played in all 17 games. You can't say that about your other wide receivers at this point. And if you are going to bitch about availability of Kyle Phillips and drops when it comes to Traylon, when NWI doesn't do that to either of those 2 extents, then you have to keep that same energy, even if this is, he's a undrafted rookie, a former undrafted rookie out of Indiana who's lasted quite a while in the league at this point, to his credit. B French says, who went the F off Sunday? AJ Brown? Yeah, that's right. You don't play for your football team anymore. No, nobody hates that more than me. I would rather, respectfully, I like the story of NWI. I would much rather watch AJ Brown play. I would much rather cover AJ Brown. I don't think that's any secret to anybody. He is more interesting to me than DeAndre Hopkins because he's younger and he's going to have a great career. And he is, absolutely killing people in Philadelphia, which just has to continue to twist the knife. But, you can't always have what you want, even if it hurts. And AJ Brown has done exactly that, to his credit. All right, gone viral video. Let's wrap it up with a video that made me laugh. It's the Manning Cast. It's the Manning Cast talking about Daniel Jones. We'll do that here in just a second. I'll ask you the question, who's the most frustrating quarterback to watch in the NFL? We'll talk about these things together right after I remind you that the Primetime Show is presented by Zen Sports. Download the app, plug in the promo code ATOZTN, and they will get you in on all the action. Unlimited 5% cash back for your first 15 days of wagering. No other sportsbook is offering you that kind of value for your first 15 days. That unlimited 5% cash back is a great reason for you to get involved, and also because you can bet on all your favorite major sports at Zen Sportsbook. So download the app, plug in the promo code ATOZTN. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or up in Tennessee to bet. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789. Nothing makes me laugh harder than broadcasters on football games being openly disgusted with what they're watching. And I think we get that quite a bit on the Manning Cast. Now, who is the most frustrating quarterback to watch on a week-in, week-out basis? John Torkington says Zach Wilson. Stephen King says Garoppolo. He's not that good and can't throw past 10 yards, and all the women think he's amazing because he is sexy as AF. Yes, he is in fact sexy AF. And I would, I would say that can't have it all, right? He's not the best quarterback in the world, but damned if he's not the best looking. Corey Smith says Bryce Young has been frustrating. the whole situation in Carolina. I knew they were going to be a not good football team, but I did not think that they would be this bad. Pickett or Wilson, says Cody Valentine. He doesn't say which Wilson, though, Zach Wilson or Russell Wilson, because I think Russell Wilson probably fits this category too. But I would say that Daniel Jones, having just watched a frustrating Daniel Jones performance, is one of the more frustrating, and not just because he's my fantasy football quarterback.
Here we go. Give me something. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Make a play.
I mean, it is borderline disgust from the Manning cast. That's Peyton and Eli Manning. The Seahawks beating the Giants last night on Monday Night Football. Daniel Jones getting absolutely nothing accomplished, throwing a pick six with the opportunity to score and try and win the game. Again, look at Peyton and Eli's reaction to the level of quarterback play they are witnessing.
Here we go. Give me something. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Make a play.
Peyton's face and Eli's stare. It's double Manning face, and it's incredible. It's going to do it for us tonight on the Primetime Show. Radio show is going to be fun tomorrow. Hope you'll stop by and hang out with us on 104.5 The Zone. You'll hear from Ryan Tannehill and Mike Vrabel. We will certainly have a good time from 10 to 1, so I hope you'll jump on there. A reminder, if you're going to London, if you're going to the Titans-Ravens game, I'm going to be doing the radio show from the Admiralty on Trafalgar Square on Friday afternoon. It's going to be from what is that? 4 to 7 p.m. London time. That's 10 to 1 here in Nashville. And it's going to be a great time. It's going to be at the Admiralty. That's where they're having the Titans pep rally over there in London. So I hope you'll hang out if you're making the trip. It'll be a lot of fun to see you guys overseas, and have a great rest of your evening. Primetime tomorrow night, radio show in between then. See you guys.